One more step, stranger, and you die!
I offer you the same choice.
You really think you stand a chance?
Another step, and we will both find out.
Shoot him!
They won't work! It's too wet!
Just kill him!
You have made your choice then.
I just want to start off giving a thanks to Ubisoft for giving me a rookie. I really appreciate it, and now I can finally have a review on time and before release on top of that. Ubisoft is currently struggling a lot. Their stock hasn't been this low in the past 10 years ago, and everything depends on if Assassin's Creed Shadows will do great. They have shut down studios, fired people so they can hold the company up. Shadows have been delayed 3 times now. They have released some videos to show what they have improved in the delays, and it looked great. But the pre-order numbers aren't that high. But now that it will launch day 1 on Steam, it will see a lot higher sales now for PC. Many people are frustrated at how Ubisoft is currently. Some want them to go bankrupt, while others want them to understand their mistakes and take action. Shadows is a start of the new Ubisoft. Like, the big question is, will Assassin's Creed Shadows save Ubisoft? In AC Shadows you play as Naoe and Yasuke. Naoe is an assassin and Yasuke is a samurai. Naoe has high mobility but is very weak. She has a bunch of tools to help her stealthing around and killing targets. She also has 3 different weapons she can use, where she can have 2 of them equipped at a time. Naoe has a grappling hook she can use to climb up high obstacles, swing or hide on ceilings. And the eagle vision is back, but only for Naoe. Yasuke is the opposite. He's bad at stealth but exceptionally good at combat. He has 5 different weapons to choose from, and again he can only have 2 equipped at a time. He's tall and slow but strong, so he can take out enemies fast and destroy obstacles and doors. He's bad at stealth and has almost no stealth capabilities. I had issues with this, which is that it makes Naoe a lot more useful compared to Yasuke. Yasuke cannot climb most things, and a lot of places needs the player to climb, especially viewpoints where you need to climb high to synchronize and get fast travel points. And to find enemies you need eagle visions, which Yasuke doesn't have at all. So you have to choose between having good and flashy combat, slow movement and no wall hacks, or bad combat, good stealth, movement, access to almost any location and wall hacks. I ended up playing Naoe most of the game and only played Yasuke when I knew I was going into a combat or when I was a Yasuke mission. Ubisoft have greatly improved the features of Shadows compared to earlier RPG Assassin's Creed games. The biggest improvement must be stealth, especially compared to the RPG Assassin's Creed games. It's almost completely redesigned, and I would say it's the best in the series. Now your visibility depends on your stance, how much light there is, and if you're hiding in foliage. They have also added prone as a new stance, so now you can hide in a bit tall grass, and you can crawl under some buildings and some objects. And as I said, now has a grappling hook so she can hide on the ceiling. You can now destroy or extinguish light objects, both long range and close range. Sound is also a key role in stealth. The animal will hear you if you're walking or running, so you'll need to crawl or crouch your way. In some buildings the floor will creak when walking on it, so you'll need to slow walk to not be heard. Weather can change a stealth a bit. Raining or thunderstorm will mask noise, so you make it so it's easier for you to sneak around. And you can also whistle to make noise so the guards will come look for you. Now you can also throw some jingle balls to distract the guard. The AI is very good in Shadows. it will notice doors being open when they shouldn't, torches being extinguished, noise you make, and bodies. And if they notice you, they will tell the others to go for you, but if you lose them, they will start looking for you. They will sometimes look in groups and they will search hay piles, bushes, tall grass, and other hiding places. Once I had taken out all of the guards except 2 guards, they started walking in group and looking for me. The strongest walked first, while the other one was walking behind it looking behind. I then decided to walk on the squeaky plank so they would split up a bit and take them out, and it actually worked. When an enemy discovers you, they'll send someone to activate the alarm. Doing that will make it so the guards will go on high alert and will always look for you, and new strong enemies will arrive. They are very different compared to the regular guys. They have a lot more health, very special masks, very strong, notice you faster, and they will not stop looking for you, even when you leave the base, so they will go after you outside of the base. After the alarm has been rang, the character you play as will be wanted, so all guards you will see everywhere, even outside the bases, will notice you and try to kill you. But I felt that stealth was a bit too easy, so I put the difficulty up to expert and it became so much better. Now the guards will see you on rooftops since they now have vertical detection. Guards will also detect you faster, hear you more easily, act a bit faster, and they will look for you a lot longer. The combat is very much alike to Valhalla and Ghost of Tsushima. You have abilities you can use, flashy gameplay, executions, parry and dodge. Enemies have normal attacks, combo attacks, and unblockable attacks. Enemies can come in different groups: giant, strong enemies, range enemies, melee enemies, and melee and range enemies. As Yasuke, the combat feels heavy and strong. He can easily destroy enemy blocks and destroy the enemy. His abilities and weapons fit very well for combat and makes combat as Yasuke incredibly fun. But as now it's not that much fun compared to Yasuke. Her attacks are a lot weaker but a lot faster, so she can attack extremely fast when you need to. AC Shadows has a lot less stats compared to Valhalla, but at the same time it's also more of an RPG. Shadows has more options for builds. They removed a lot of the random stats and instead made the current stats a bit better. The game is back having rarity of weapons and armor and having levels. But thankfully you can upgrade them at your hideout, and each weapon has a special stat and some even have an empty slot. Then you can put whatever stat you want as long as you have unlocked it. Hideout is also back, but it's a lot better now compared to Valhalla. You pick what you want to build and where. You can customize the buildings, and I mean, like, you can also build them exactly where you want, so you choose exactly the positions. And you can also build pathways, place foliage, and other things. You can upgrade your buildings so you get even better benefits from them, and I love the hideout and I spent multiple hours in it alone. The skill tree is also a huge improvement compared to Valhalla, and it's vastly different compared to the early AC games. Now when Yasuke have 6 small skill trees each, where the weapons have 1 each. So Yasuke has 5 skill trees for weapons and 1 for samurai. Now he has 3 for weapons, 1 for stealth, 1 for assassination, and 1 for tools. They have also changed how you progress it. You'll level up very fast in the game and get a lot of skill points for a lot of things. But the skill tree is divided up in ranks, so you'll need to level up your rank to get access to new skills. You level up your rank by completing certain tasks such as meditating, shrines, Assassin Brotherhood trials, and more. Personally, I love the meditating because it's challenging and short. You'll need to hit certain buttons at the right time, and then the logo for the button will disappear, and then it will not show you when you will need to hit it, so you'll need to remember the space between them from when you could. I am also loving the skill tree. It gives some great abilities and stat upgrades, like increasing the amount of health bars you take with assassinating, increasing climbing speed with the grappling hook, make it so you can assassinate 2 enemies at a time. New combat abilities has a nice stat increase. It feels rewarding and gives the player a lot of recall, and having divided the skill trees up in ranks makes it so that the player will explore a lot more. But firstly, I think they should have dropped the ranks altogether, or reduce the time it takes to rank up, or change how you level up your ranks entirely.
I call them the Onryo. 3 are dead.
By your hand or someone else's?
Mine.
Impressive. The one with the ox horns. I know his crest. The Besho clan. Lord Nobunaga's armies fought them in...
The story is a big upgrade from Mirage and Valhalla. The story is open now and a lot shorter compared to Valhalla. The quality of the story is also a much of higher quality. It took me around 40 hours to beat Shadows. I also did all of Yasuke and Naoe's personal missions. The mission structures of the game is open, where you can choose which mission you want to tackle. The only thing you need to think about is your level, since if an enemy is too high of a level, then will become a lot stronger, so we'll need to level up to be able to take them out. There's a ton of side quests to do, but they will slowly unlock as you level up and progress other missions. Many of these quests are different criminal organizations where you'll need to kill every one of them. If you're lucky, you can find them while you're exploring, or you could investigate them to find out where they are. A small issue I had with the game is that you rarely know exact the location of the quests, so you'll need to find it yourself or use one of your scouts. This has been an optional thing in previous AC games and still is, but now it's on by default. It is okay, as it makes you explore more, but it becomes tiresome really fast. The story without any spoilers goes something like this. Naoe is a shinobi, aka an assassin, and she ends up losing her home by the Shinbaku. She then seeks out to take revenge on the Shinbaku, who are the antagonists of the game. They are like Templars from previous AC games. She ends up meeting with Yasuke, and I found out they both want the Shinbaku dead. Then they will travel throughout the world of AC Shadows to kill the Shinbaku and restore peace to Japan, and uncover Naoe and Yasuke's history. And one thing I was surprised and happy about is they have almost completely removed the hour or future timeline. So in Shadows you play as Naoe and Yasuke most of the game, and you play as a black figure with white dots a few times throughout the game. And that's the only part of the future in the game. And this removal makes the game enjoyable for everyone without having to play any of the previous AC games. And on top of that, the main story is exceptional. Especially Yasuke's missions, as I ended up loving them. Naoe's missions were great, but not as great as Yasuke's missions. In most of the missions where both characters are playable, you will get to choose between who you want to play. Especially in the Shinbaku missions, where you will get to pick who to play during encounters until a new one, where you can choose again. The story has some choice in the game, especially in the main story, where some may affect the main story itself or side quests.
I know.
Tell me why.
The world is also great. It's around the same size as AC Origins, but it's filled. I felt that Origin and Odyssey had a bad world. It was big, empty, and wasn't that beautiful. In Shadows, the map is a bit big, filled with towns, cities, forests, quests, criminal organization, and looks awesome. Some parts are a bit empty, but having a bunch of elevation, foliage, and trees helps the world feel a lot smaller than it is. On top of that, there are a lot of settlements throughout the world, both small and big, so the distance between objectives feels a lot smaller than they are. As you want to rank up, it makes you want to find those rank up missions and then do them, and you want more fast travel points. So it feels like the map is even smaller, which makes it enjoyable to traverse it and makes it believable. As I said, the game is stunning and the performance isn't that bad. The game has ray tracing that can't be turned off on PC personally. I think that's a bit weird of a choice, as a lot of people still don't have ray tracing capable cards. And in dialogue, as now it looked weird. It almost seems like Shadows are not in dialogues for now for some reason. But for Yasuke, it looks almost like one of those CGI trailers from Ubisoft. So I'm not sure why this is the case, and it's not always. Sometimes Naoe's dialogues look amazing, but that's very rare. So bug-wise, I barely met any at all. The biggest issue was the Shadows part in Naoe's dialogues, and for some reason, DLSS frame gen gave huge stuttering, and FSR frame gen did not. I tried to cap the frame rate and other things, but didn't find any fix for it. I must say that the more I played Shadows, the more it resembled Ghost of Tsushima. And I think that's why they went with having two protagonists instead of one, so it differentiates itself from Ghost of Tsushima. but I actually liked Assassin's Creed Shadows more than I liked Ghost of Tsushima. I ended up loving AC Shadows. It has some of the best stuff I have ever seen in a game I played. The story is amazing, and the same with the gameplay. The world is amazing, the graphics are very good. Yes, the performance could be better, but I still loved it. I don't think I'll be alone in this. Like, according to Tom Henderson from Insider Gaming, he says that he has heard that other reviewers are saying that Shadows will do great on Metacritic, and very specifically he said high 80s and low 90s, and I fully agree with this. They have greatly improved on the issues from Valhalla. They have the stealth back to Assassin's Creed and made it the best in the whole series. So I do believe that Assassin's Creed Shadows can save Ubisoft. The pre-orders have been low according to insiders and leaks, but currently it's on 8th place on top seller globally on Steam at the time of writing this, and I think it will go even higher closer to release and after release. Shadows is launching on Steam, Steam Deck and Mac day 1, which it usually, or like it hasn't done for years, and it's also verified for Steam Deck on Steam. I have also asked some people what they think about AC Shadows, and I was surprised how many said they were hyped for it. So I feel very confident saying that Assassin's Creed Shadows will save Ubisoft. And I strongly, very strongly recommend Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I'm willing to bet it will go down as one of the greatest Assassin's Creed games in the whole series. Thanks for watching this review. Please leave a like and subscribe, as it really helps me a lot. I also want to give another thanks to Ubisoft for giving me a review key, as that means a lot to me. But that's enough for me today. I hope you have a great day so far, and hope it will continue to be great. Have a nice day.
You've got to have faith when you leap.